This is a pollinator garden around here, which is to keep the bees happy all spring and summer long. And in the pollinator garden we included some crab apples and some yews. Now both of those are noble trees from the ancient Brehon laws. They were the trees most important to the old Irish, and for chopping down one of those there's a fine of 2.5 milk cows. I don't quite know how they got the half a milk cow. They were taken very seriously. They were very much part of the local wealth, the local ecosystems, which were an integral part of their life. And as well as the yew and the crabapple, there were the ash, the oak, the holly, the hazel and the Scots pine. They were the noble trees. And in this garden we suddenly had appearing from seed, so naturally an oak and an ash appeared last year in the garden. So I kind of thought I was being told by something or other that we should incorporate all the noble trees in the garden here, as two appeared naturally in perfect spots for growing on. This bit of the garden here is where I've been busy planting this morning to make sure that all of the 7 noble trees are kept in our pollinator garden. These little ones are crab apples actually put in last year because they're good for pollinators. And this is the Scots pine, a native, well, the only big native conifer, and they were valued as a tree that was green as well as a good timber tree. And it's very significant that they had the holly, the yew and the Scots pine as noble trees. They were all trees which are evergreen, and evergreen was very important to them. The fear that the winter was going to go on forever, they were the trees, particularly the holly, which symbolised everlasting life and growth for them. And they would bring holly into their house to represent green and fertility in the winter. The Christians borrowed that one as well. And here, so here we have the holly, and as I say, very little economic value but huge spiritual value to them. And the crab apple, I don't know what I put in there, they were valued because you made cider out of them, which I think was another important part of the culture as well. And then we have the hazel, which gives us hazelnuts obviously, and they would have been a valuable source of protein to people in the autumn. And also the twigs can be used for a variety of things, for weaving and so on as well. Here's the self-sown little oak. So when I was weeding, I need a bit of weeding now, don't I? When I was weeding last year, I suddenly came across it, and it's perfectly positioned on the corner of the garden, so that's being left there. Put a cane so I don't weed it out by accident, and that will grow a long time after my time into a beautiful mature oak tree. Obviously the noble trees will be here when everybody wants to come. They'll be here a long time after I've finished here, and the garden is waiting for your return. And the pollinator garden has flowers starting now. We have the aubrietia and the snowdrops out at the moment. That goes right through to the autumn when we have the geraniums, the cranesbills flowering. So hopefully lockdown will end soon enough, and let's hope you're here for the midsummer display of pollinating plants like the catmint. If not, we'll wait till